Okay, court is back in session at this time. Ms. Hernandez, I thank you for coming back. I did mention to you that I would take care of you right away. We needed to take care of that to be able to get done with our jury. So I'm sharing my screen, Ms. Hernandez. Are you seeing the screen
Yes, ma'am.
already? And so the state has tendered a motion to dismiss your case for insufficient evidence. So I congratulate you. I'd like for you to go ahead and thank your attorney for the hard work that he did on this. And as they say, go forth and nothing personal, but don't want to see you anymore, right?
Yes, ma'am. Of course not.
Okay. All righty. You do well. And thank you so much for your time and taking care of this case. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so
Alrighty.
much.
Yes, you're free to go. The case
Okay,
has
thank
been
you.
dismissed. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Bye-bye. Attorney O'Donnell, how are you this afternoon, sir?
Very well, thank you, Your Honor.
Good. And listen, thank you so much for rounding back to us. Let's go ahead and take that plea on Mr. Carter. Believe state, have you pulled up? Do you have? State, do you have cause number 683-618 and 683-617 pulled up?
Yes, Judge.
Let's get on. Oh, let me stop sharing right now. Okay, state, give me a general idea what we're going to do here. I suppose I have two cases. I only have one paperwork on one case. That's cause number 683-618. What are we going to generally do here?
Judge, one case is going to be dismissed.
Thank
Taken
you,
into
State.
consideration dismissed.
Okay. Court is going to call cause number 683-618 and cause number 683-617, State of Texas versus Enrique Charles Carter. Parties, please approach and identify who is before the court, starting with the state.
Lincoln for the state.
Brian O'Donnell, Assistant Public Defender for Mr. Carter.
And are you Enrique Charles Carter?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. If you will place your device on a flat surface and you place yourself in the center of it, I would be most appreciative, okay? Are you the same Enrique Charles Carter? They're under cause number 683-618. You're charged with reckless driving alleged to have occurred on the 23rd day of April 2022 and is classified as other than miscellaneous.
Yes, Your Honor.
And under cause number 683-617, you are charged with unlawful carry of a weapon, handgun, moving vehicle, alleged to have occurred on the 23rd day of April 2022 and classified as a Class A misdemeanor. Are you the same so accused?
Yes, Your Honor.
Please raise your right hand. Oh, my hand? Oh, thank you. Sorry, been talking to you, my camera off. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing else but the truth under pains and penalties of perjury, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
Alrighty, please, thank you. You may go ahead and lower your hand. Mr. Carter, is there any way that you can get in a better light, please? Like turn the device around and so you'll be in a better light so I can see your face clearly. Okay, thank you, Mr. Carter. Court is going to start sharing the court screen. Mr. Carter, can you see the court screen?
Yes, ma'am.
And counsel, can you see the court screen?
Yes, Your Honor.
And State, can you see the court screen?
Yes, Judge.
State, on display is a document entitled State's Consent to Video Conferencing. Did you sign this document that's consenting to that's consenting to these proceedings by video conferencing?
Yes, Judge, I did.
State's video conferencing consent is made part of the record. Defense, on display is a document entitled Defendant's Consent to Video Conferencing. Mr. Carter, is this your
Yes,
signature
ma'am.
where I'm circling this cursor?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you sign this document that's consenting to plea by video conferencing?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, with your signature on the same document, do you join your client in consenting to these proceedings by video conferencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defendant's video conferencing consent is made part of the record. Counsel, how long have you been representing Mr. Carter?
Since April 24th, 2022, Your Honor.
And counsel, are we applying for probation, and if so, what type?
And just, Your Honor, it was May 24th, 2022, and we're applying
Okay.
for deferred adjudication, Your Honor.
Thank you, counsel. Mr. Carter, I draw your attention to the document on display. It's entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication Community Supervision. It's a 2-page document. This is the first page, and then this is the second page. I draw your attention to where I am circling the cursor about the middle of the second page, whereby it states that you personally appeared before me today. You are the defendant in this case, and albeit you are appearing via Zoom, permitted to do so. And I have duly sworn you in, and under oath, you're stating that your application for deferred adjudication community supervision and the document entitled Personnel Data Sheet is, which is going to be attached as an exhibit to your application, is true and correct. I'm going to share with you your personnel data sheet. And you need to identify to me if there's any information that needs to be filled in or corrected. Now, keep in mind that if it's not completely filled in, it cannot be true and correct. Okay. And this is your personal data sheet. Is there some information missing?
No, ma'am.
So, Mr. Carter, you don't have a cell phone?
I have it listed under, oh, it's not a cell phone, it's under home,
Very
home
well.
phone.
All this is empty. Well, I don't have a last name for this first reference, and there's only one reference and no two. Need three references, sir.
I'm not sure who else to put on down as a reference. Only reference I have is my mom.
Counsel, is this something that you would be able to go ahead and talk with your client regarding this matter? Because I don't even have a last name for the first reference. I only have one name. Is that something that you'll be able to go ahead and discuss with your client, and then he can provide it when he comes down to provide his fingerprints?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Carter, do you need to speak with your attorney to understand the consequences of your response to this statement? Defendant understands and acknowledges that any untrue statement in the application or the exhibit, your personal data sheet, may be grounds for denial or revocation of your community supervision in this case. Do you need to speak with your attorney?
No, we spoke about it.
All righty. And so what is your response? Do you understand and so acknowledge?
Yes, ma'am.
Ready? And with the caveat of the information that you and your attorney will be discussing further, your personal data sheet, I will go ahead and sign the document and make it part of the record. State, have you fulfilled your discovery and Brady requirement in this case?
Yes, Judge, we have.
Counsel, are you satisfied that the state has fulfilled its obligation to provide you discovery under Article 39.14 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, as well as giving you full access to the state's files?
Yes, Your Honor.
And state, is this matter subject to law enforcement disclosure? And if it is, has that been satisfied?
It is subject to, and it has been complied with, Your Honor.
Mhm. I will sign the discovery acknowledgement, making it part of the record. State, do you have any motions for the court's consideration?
Judge, as part of this agreement, we are going to be TIC dismissing 683-617, which has been sent via Adobe Sign. We are also we provide a motion to forfeit and destroy the 2 weapons involved with 683-617 that have already also been sent via Adobe Sign.
Defense?
No objections.
State, do you have any other motions for the court's consideration?
No, Your Honor, we don't.
Defense, do you have any motions for the court's consideration?
Oh, Your Honor.
Mr. Carter, I direct your attention to the document on display. It's entitled Defendant's Waiver of Constitutional Rights in the Court's Admonitions. This is a 2-page document. This is the first page, and then this is the second page. Is this your signature where I'm circling the cursor?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you go over this document with your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
After reviewing this document with your attorney, did you freely and voluntarily sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
With your signature and testimony, you're telling me that you understand everything in this 2-page document as it was reviewed and explained to you by your attorney.
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the representation of your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
He has done very well for you to get one case dismissed, taken into consideration, and to be able to bring this to a closure for you today, or to be able to resolve it for you. And so this is, you understand the range of punishment in this case,
Yes, ma'am.
and you understand your constitutional rights?
Yes, ma'am.
With that understanding, do you freely and voluntarily give up your constitutional rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, Your Honor.
I will approve your jury waiver, and I will sign the document, and you will no longer be able to have a jury trial in this record, as I have made a record of it in this case. Let me state that again. You will no longer be able to have a jury trial. My signature has made this a record for this case. And so, counsel, do you believe that your client is competent to enter into plea today?
Yes, Your Honor.
With the information, were you able to apprise this defendant of the nature of the offense and the charges against him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you and the defendant waive the formal reading of the information in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, what is your punishment recommendation?
The state is recommending 3 months deferred adjudication, a $200 fine in court costs, 12 hours community service restitution, and a driver safety course.
You said 12 hours community service restitution?
Yes, Judge.
Counsel, is that your understanding of the state's punishment recommendation in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Carter, is that your understanding of the what the your attorney has worked out with the state and on your behalf in order to dispose of this matter for you today?
Yes, Your Honor. I have completed the community service.
State, what are we doing with cause number 6836187?
Judge, it is being dismissed. I've already tendered a motion to dismiss in the matter.
Is being dismissed outright or is it being taken into consideration?
Taken into consideration, Your Honor.
Mr. Carter, with your understanding of what the state has, the punishment recommendation, which your attorney has worked out with the state, how do you wish to plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
Do you understand that even though you're pleading no contest, I can still find you guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you still wish to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, you've discussed this entire matter with your attorney, correct?
Yes.
So you're, with your plea of no contest, you're telling this court that you do not wish to fight any of the charges in either case.
No, Your Honor.
That's not what you're telling me?
No, I'm agreeing with you.
Want to fight the charges?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, you do not wish to fight the charges. Is that what you're telling the court? That you do not wish to fight the charges?
Yes, Your Honor.
And after discussion with your attorney, you feel that with a plea of no contest, you believe that to be in your best interest.
Yes, Your Honor.
I will accept your plea of no contest, finding that it is intelligently and freely made and that you're competent to do so. Counsel, what, if anything, on behalf of your client, and why should I consider this plea?
Your Honor, my client's 23. He's a very motivated young man. He's already done 24 hours of community service up front, and he's very motivated to complete this term if granted. He seems like a fine young man, Your Honor, and I'm happy the state is making this offer, and we're hoping that the court will approve it. My client, he works. He may not be working now, but it was because of this case, but he will be employed very soon again, I believe, Judge. We're hoping that the court will not only grant his request for deferred, but possibly give him credit for the 12 hours that he recently completed of community service.
Is it 12 or 24?
He says he completed 24, Your Honor. The request was for 12.
Okay, documentation of that will need to be provided to the community service, community supervision officer, okay? I don't have any indication of that in the file, so
Very well, Judge.
Mr. Carter, is anything physical or mentally preventing you from being gainfully employed?
I'm sorry, you broke up.
Is there anything physical or mental that's preventing you from being employed?
Oh, no, ma'am.
No?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Counsel, is there any legal reason why why this matter cannot be disposed of today?
No, Your Honor.
And counsel, just for clarification, under cause number 683-617, you're satisfied with the state had provided you information, has fulfilled its discovery and Brady requirement in that case?
Yes, Your Honor.
And okay, and state was. Okay. And you have no objections to the state's motion to destroy the weapons, correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay. There being no legal reason not to dispose of this matter, Mr. Carter, although there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty in this case, I'm going to withhold my finding of guilt, and I'm going to place you on 3 months of deferred adjudication, community supervision, probation. You will be monitored and for reckless driving. You will be monitored and supervised for this reckless driving by the Community Supervision and Corrections Department, otherwise known as probation. With these following conditions: $200 fine plus court costs, 12 hours of community service restitution, the driving safety course. You're going to take into consideration cause number 683-617, and for unlawful carry weapon, handgun, moving vehicle. The state, I believe, has tendered a motion for the weapons for dismissal on 683-617. I am going to go ahead and sign this at this time. And that matter has been dismissed. TIC'd. And okay. I'm also going to require you to go ahead and conduct 5 job searches per week until gainfully employed. And that's going to be documented on the Texas Workforce Job Search Log. I'm going to set your supervision fees at $25. State, have I covered everything for you?
Yes, you have, Your Honor. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. As counsel, anything further on this matter?
Just, Your Honor, I don't know if my client has the date that he performed that community service, but if we would ask if the court could, I guess, memorialize that he might get credit if it was completed, a week ago or 2 weeks ago. So it's not a surprise to the probation officer, Your Honor.
Yes, counsel, I have no information on that. I don't know the organization. I don't know if it's an organization that is recognized, where he can go ahead and
Very well, Your Honor.
so I know nothing about it. So if there's any questions or concerns, I do have this performance review hearings that we can be able to address that matter.
Oh, very well.
If
Thank
there's
you,
any
Judge.
question. And I'm sure that the probation office will contact me regarding that.
Thank you, Judge. Nothing further.
Alrighty. Mr. Carter, regarding the trial court certification of defendant's right to appeal, this has been a plea bargain case. I am going to certify that you have no right to appeal. Now, you will need to come down and provide us your fingerprints and bring that information to be able to complete your personal data sheet after you finish speaking with your attorney. When will you be able to go ahead and come down, sir? Tomorrow is Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday this week? Which day?
I can come down tomorrow.
Okay, alrighty, sir, you'll be coming down to County Court at Law Number 2, located at 300 De La Rosa, San Antonio, Texas, 78205. We're on the first floor of the Kadena Reeves Justice Center. Now, you'll be coming down between the hours of 2 p.m., after 2 p.m., and before 4:30 p.m. tomorrow. Understand that if you do not show up, a warrant will be issued for your arrest and you'll be remanded without bond. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, all righty. So now your attorney has done very well by you. The way to appreciate your attorney's effort is to be able to complete your probation successfully. It's 3 months. It may seem like a long time, but I believe that you can go ahead and get it done satisfactorily and successfully. Okay, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
All righty. So we'll see you tomorrow, Wednesday. If there's anything at all, remember to start conducting those 5 job searches and get employed so that you can be able to pay off your probation fees. Okay, sir? But if there's anything that we can do to be able to assist you, we most certainly will do. As a matter of fact, I'm going to have your CSO provide a status report on your probation and how well you're doing on your probation in 45 days. Okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, very good. All righty. Anything further on this matter?
Oh, Your Honor, thank
State-
you. May we be excused?
Yes, sir, absolutely. If you have nothing else in this court,
I don't believe so, Your Honor.
okay, let me go ahead and place you in the breakout room with your client so we can get that personal data sheet all sorted out. Okay, sir?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. And you guys are excused from there, okay?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you.
Thanks. Okay. Hey, State, how did you name that, that motion? If you would go ahead and send me that motion to destroy the weapons, please. Stop sharing. State.
Judge, I just sent you a reminder.
Okay. Mhm. Alrighty. Okay. All right, State, let me go ahead and check with the attorneys that are here. Just to make sure, I think that we have taken care of all matters involving the state this afternoon. However, I have a gentleman by the name of Shaquan Moore. You're muted, sir. If you will go ahead.
Okay, Your Honor, I'm sorry. It's Albert Van Cleaver. I looked up there and I saw my name said Shaquan Moore. I don't know who that is. I'm here on Rihanna Navarro Torres, something like that. And she is supposed to come back to the court. Apparently there was a hearing today I wasn't aware of.
Yeah, she's on the docket today, sir. I believe and she's on the docket today and late. So I'm going to go ahead and place you guys in the breakout room with my court coordinator to go ahead and figure that out, okay?
Okay, Your Honor.
Yes, and well, before that, hold on a second. Let me see. Okay, just hang on 2 seconds, sir. Mr. Travis Untermeyer.
Yes, Judge Rick Crow, the attorney for Mr. Untermeyer. I believe he's present. Let me turn on those. There he is.
I'm sorry, I'm here.
Okay, Attorney Crow, are you here for a performance review hearing?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, give me 2 seconds. All righty. Attorney Van Cleve, I sent you an invitation. If you would be kind enough to go ahead and accept that invitation.
Yes, Your Honor, I'll do that. Thank you.
Alrighty. Deputy.
Judge, Mr. Van Cleve was placed in meeting room number 9. Is he supposed to meet with me, or are you placing him with a defendant?
Which one of the ADAs is conferring?
Judge, I'm happy to confer.
Alrighty, let's get you in the breakout room with Mr. Attorney Van Cleve. Attorney Crow, are you ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor, I am.
Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and get on record on cause number 676-701, State of Texas versus Travis Untermeyer. Parties, please approach and identify who is before the court, starting with the CLO.
Ashley Jennings, Court Liaison Officer for County Court at Law Number 2.
CSO,
Your Honor- Oh, sorry.
CSO,
CSO Maldonado.
and please go ahead and state your name.
April Maldonado, CSO April Maldonado.
And what is your relationship to this case?
I'm the Community Supervision Officer,
For,
Mr. Travis Untermeyer.
counsel? Defense?
Yes, Your Honor, Rick Crow on behalf of the defendant, Travis Untermeyer. And he is present as well on Zoom.
Okay, alrighty. Travis Untermeyer?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, good afternoon. You're not in the vehicle, are you, sir?
No, I'm in a room.
Alrighty, please place your device on a flat surface and place yourself in the center of it and do not move anymore, okay? Please.
Oh, my God. Okay.
Alrighty. CLO, when was the last court visit with Mr. Untermeyer?
Yes, Your Honor. The last court appearance was when the probationer was granted deferred adjudication on March 24th, 2022 for 6 months for a violation bond and protective order. Now, an SR was returned on July 20th, 2022 to set for a hearing due to expiration date and outstanding conditions. This case is set to expire on September 23, 2022.
Did you say when's that expiration date again?
September 23rd, 2022.
Okay. Yeah, so how has Mr. Untermeyer been doing while on probation?
Your Honor, he was ordered 48 community service hours, moral recognition therapy, and no contact order, no firearms, and a balance, which he has paid in full. The community service, he was provided the information of the donation locations that were approved by this court. Regardless of that, he provided a donation to the San Antonio Food Bank of $380. He has not completed his moral recognition therapy class to date. And he is currently residing out of county without permission.
Your Honor, if I may respond.
I'll give you plenty of opportunity. Just let me go ahead and ask some questions. Let's see. Alrighty, so the amount donated to the San Antonio Food Bank is sufficient to complete the community service restitution?
I believe it is short, Your Honor. Not by much.
Alrighty, please go ahead and make that calculation and tell me the amount of community service restitution is that has been completed, okay?
Okay.
And you say the fees are paid in full?
The fees are paid in full.
Okay. Okay, so the moral recognition therapy and living out of county are the two issues of concern. Is that it, CSO?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, have you made that calculation?
No, Your Honor, I was pulling up your court guidelines right now.
Okay.
So he's paid $380. He was required to pay $396.
What's the total, what number of hours are you crediting with that amount?
I believe it's 44.
Okay. All right, so, okay, counsel, do you have any questions of the CSO?
Yes, Your Honor.
Proceed.
It was my understanding that that he would get credit for a vaccination as well. Was that turned in, or has that been taken into consideration too?
CSO? You're asking the CSO, correct?
Yes, yeah, Ms. Maldonado, I apologize.
Okay.
There was no verification of any vaccination submitted.
Okay, I was under the impression that it had been, that can be rectified. And did Mr. Untermeyer notify you that he was getting a new job in a new place of residence?
He didn't notify me until he was already in Spring Branch.
And what was the
I'm
time?
sorry, what was that response?
He did not notify me until he already was living out of county.
And did how quickly or how soon did he say what date he moved to the new location?
He did not.
And when was the last time you had met with him prior to getting that notification?
On June 11th of 2022.
And then do you know what date that he was supposed to start work?
I do not.
Would it surprise you that that he only moved a couple of days before his next obligation to come and see you?
Are you referring to July?
Yes.
No, I wasn't aware. However, he has 48 hours to notify us of any change. And he has been notified that he was not to live out of county when he was granted probation and when he was reported for his initial report date.
Are you aware that I filed a motion to modify terms of probation and also possibly transfer this case to Comal County and or possibly to early terminate this case?
I was notified only that an early term was filed.
And were you aware that I filed that the day, either the same day or the day after he had learned that he had moved out of county and it was violating his terms of his probation?
No, I was not notified by the court.
No more questions for this witness, Your Honor.
Do you need to speak with your client, sir?
No, Your Honor. I believe I can get him to testify. I filed a motion to modify the terms of probation the day after, and I served it on to Mr. Evan Myers with the district attorney's office, and it should have been filed within, should be part of the court's record in your file. I don't know if it is.
Sir, I do have here a document that was filed in, and accepted on the 14th of July, 2022, entitled Motion to Modify Terms of Probation or in the alternative for early termination of community supervision. And is a 4-page document to include the 4th page being the certificate of service. However, there's no order attached to it.
Your Honor, I failed to submit an order with the motion. I apologize.
Okay. I believe that it's because of the receipt of this motion and review of it that I called for this to take care of this matter or address it through a performance review hearing versus some other type of a hearing, such as a motion to revoke.
Yes, and we appreciate that, Your Honor. We certainly, through my advice to my client, we certainly weren't trying to violate any of the terms of the community supervision. He had called me before he had got this new job, and it was a job that was better, more pay and more upward moving. And I didn't realize that it would require him to go across the county line, but we learned after the fact, and he also moved closer to his new job, and not realizing again that was across the county line. And so therefore it was an urgent matter for us to make sure that we rectify whatever we needed to rectify as soon as possible, because we didn't want him to violate the terms of his probation.
Well, obviously he violated it. Unless you want to give me a chronology, you were asking the probation officer for some chronology as far as the date he moved to a new location, date he notified the probation officer of the job. She has responded to all that. Last meeting was on the 11th of June with office meeting with 11th of June with the probation officer. This was filed over a month after that last meeting. The date he started work. I mean, was this like a surprise job, or did he actually interview for it?
No, Your Honor, he interviewed for it, but I believe that the timing of this, Your Honor, was the fact that he had just received the notice around, I think it was June 24th, and then he didn't decide. I don't know, it was June 28th. I apologize, June 28th. And then I don't know what, I can't say for certain what day that he had decided to move, but he reported on July 13th. So it was probably over 48 hours.
So he was noticed of the job on the 28th of June and then moved on the 13th of July without any notification to his probation officer.
Your Honor, I'd have to ask my client on the timing of that. Unless you
Well,
like
I mean,
a breakout room to find out, or we can get him to testify.
sure, there's no problem. He met with his probation officer on the 11th of June. Let me ask the probation officer a couple questions here. Officer Maldonado,
Yes, Your Honor.
how do you usually communicate with Ms. Santamaria?
In June of 2022, his report was via Zoom. In July 13th, he was brought in person.
Okay, so you met with him on the 13th of July.
Yes, Your Honor. On June 11th, they had asked when he had I think the question is when he had notified, or he had met before he notified. So July 13th was the date he came in person and notified me he was already out of county.
No, my question to you was, how do you usually communicate with him?
Via Zoom. However, his appointment in July was in person.
Okay. So you only communicate with him via Zoom? Are there any other means of communication?
I mean, he's made contact via telephone, but his reports are mainly via Zoom, and he was brought in person due to his compliance issues in July.
Okay, so now communication, office meeting is one thing, but I'm saying communication. Have you communicated back with him? You said via phone. Is there also email?
Yes, Your Honor.
Does he have your email address?
Yes, Your Honor.
Does he have the physical address to write to you?
Yes, Your Honor.
So if he wrote to you or emailed you and provided you a copy of, the fact that he has been made a job offer or something like that, at least you would have been alerted, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
And then you could advise him and say, hey, listen, this looks like it's out of county. I mean, did he question you at all? Give you a notice of the location where he's going so that?
No, Your Honor, he did not. And when we met for our initial appointment, when he was first placed on, his conditions were reviewed and he was notified he was not to leave county without permission.
The requirement to not leave county without permission, is that a condition of probation?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
And where is that written or is just a big?
It's written in his, I'm sorry, Your Honor, it's written.
Where is that written?
In the conditions of his probation, I'm pulling those up right now to get the exact, I believe it's 6A, but let me verify.
While you're verifying that, is that a standard requirement across the board?
Yes, Your Honor, it is, and it is condition number 6.
Condition number 6.
Yes,
So
Your
it's
Honor.
right up there on top.
It is, and then it is also condition number 8B, that if any changes, they notify us within 48 hours.
And do probationers go through any sort of orientation?
Yes, Your Honor, they do go through orientation. These conditions are explained to them, and they do sign a copy of these conditions. And when I meet with them for my initial report date, I go through these conditions, each one, and ask at the end if there's any questions or concerns, which was done as well in his initial report date.
You say these conditions are reviewed with them and they get a copy?
Yes, Your Honor. He also signs them and he gets a copy. Yes, Your Honor.
In this case, do you know whether Ms. Untermeyer received a copy of the conditions?
Not personally, I was not at his orientation, but that is what's done at orientation. They are read the conditions, they sign these conditions, and they are supposed to be provided a copy.
Okay, so the orientation provides them a copy or goes over the conditions with them. What do you do when you meet with them?
When I meet with him for his initial report, they go through every condition of his probation to ensure he understands what he can and cannot do.
Did you verify whether he received a copy of his conditions?
Not that I can recall. No, ma'am.
Okay, counsel, counsel, perhaps there was, I don't know, you need to talk with your client. And let me go ahead and let you talk with your client and please let us know. I'd like to know if Mr. Untermeyer has a copy of his conditions. Okay,
Okay.
all righty. We'll suspend the record at this time. Attorney Van Cleef,
Yes, Your Honor. I've conferred with the state and we've agreed that this case will be taken into consideration if she works out a deal on her felony. So that's where we stand at this point, Your Honor.
you're looking for a reset for felony pending?
Yes, Your Honor. She has a felony pending in the 186th, which we're working on an agreement, which we were also appointed on that. And we're working on an agreement on that case. And the prosecutor has agreed that this case would be taken into consideration once she works out a deal on that case.
When is that case set for?
I'm not sure, Your Honor. I don't think it's very soon.
If you consult your calendar, sir.
It's not on our calendar right now, Your Honor. I'd have to, I can probably report back to the court when it might be.
Okay, I'm sending you an invitation, sir, because how are we going to go ahead and reset this matter if we don't have a date to reset it to? So
If
I'll
you'd
go
like to
ahead
set-
and,
maybe we could set it like 60 days out, and I'm sure maybe the felony could be resolved by then.
okay.
That would be acceptable.
Would like to be able to set it for the same day as the felony, sir, so that you guys don't have to come back and forth.
Okay, Your Honor. Well, I can report back to the court when the felony is.
Okay, sir, and I'm going to go ahead and place you and your client in the breakout room with the deputy first, and then I'll move you to go ahead and get a date from
Okay, Your Honor.
the court coordinator. And then you and your client are excused from there, okay?
Okay, Your Honor. Sounds fine. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am. Attorney Van Cleave, you have your invitation, sir?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I was muted. Your Honor, I accepted the invitation and it kicked me back to the courtroom again. I'm not sure what happened.
Oh, okay, let me try moving you again.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
ADAs, I think that takes care of the matters. You're excused.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Have a great evening.
Take your sunglasses off.
Uh, Your Honor, so
Accept the
what's,
invitation that you've been sent, okay? You have a good day. Join your attorney,
Okay.
okay? All right, thank you.
okay, uh-huh.
Excuse me, sir. Right, that's taken a little bit longer than expected already.
Your Honor,
So, yes,
I just Skyped you. Could you check it?
okay, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Okay, Mr. Dennis Chambers?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, we'll go ahead and deal with Mr. Chambers in 1 minute. Okay. Just give me a second, okay? Need to go ahead and court reporter needs to relocate.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Judge, could you make me co-host, please?
Sorry, Ms. Luna. Esther, are you set up? I thought I saw her log in.
She is logged in. She's just waiting to
Okay.
be co-host. She's logged in as Esther Delgado only.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Crow, would you go ahead and Attorney Crow, would you go ahead and join me in a breakout room, please?
Yes, for sure.
Would you go ahead and mute the TV, please? Okay, Attorney Crow,
Yes, Your Honor.
you and your client are excused at this time based on the conversation we just had. And we'll have your the CSO get back with you, okay?
Perfect. Thank you, Judge.
Alrighty, thank you very much. You all
Have a
have a
great
good
day.
afternoon. Okay,
You as well. Bye-bye.
bye-bye. And uh, CSO Maldonado?
Your Honor, she had to log off already for the day.
Okay, very good. Alrighty, good. I was going to excuse her. Anyways, how are you, Miss Manager Sedovich? Thank you for going ahead and filling in.
Yes, Your Honor.
Alrighty, let's go ahead and get on record. Oops. I think she's back, yes. Let's get on record on cause number 630599. State of Texas versus Dennis Mitchell Chambers. Parties, please approach and identify who's before the court, starting with this CLO.
Marisa Sedovich, Court Liaison Officer for County Court at Law number 2.
CSO.
Officer Alan Juarez.
And the CSO, is that, how do you spell the first name?
Allen, Allen.
Okay. Okay, thank you. And are you Mr. Dennis Mitchell Chambers?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
How you doing today, sir?
I'm all right, Your Honor. Yourself?
Good, not too bad. Thanks for asking. I appreciate you being here. CLO, when was the last court visit we had with Mr. Chambers?
Your Honor, the last court appearance was when the probationer was granted deferred adjudication on December 18th, 2021 for 14 months for obstruction highway. And SR was returned on June 29th, 2022, asking to follow TAP recommendations. Your Honor requested a performance review hearing with TAP revision recommendations. Also for probationer needs to provide proof of employment. This case is set to expire on February 17, 2023.
Yeah, so how has Mr. Chambers been doing since he's been on probation?
Yes, since his last SR, he has not had any violations on the ignition interlock. He has completed his 40 community service hours. The only thing he has pending is just the ignition interlock, and he's completed all his other classes.
Okay, so you have received proof of employment?
Proof of employment, yes.
Okay, so you received that?
Yes.
Okay. When did you get that?
He sent me that information. His check stub was for July 15th. So he sent it after the supplemental report was submitted.
When was that supplemental report submitted?
On June 29th.
And so you received it sometime around the 15th of July, are you saying?
Yes, I'm looking for the email he sent me. He sent it. He sent it to me on July 27th.
Okay, you said no violations on the ignition interlock?
No, ma'am.
Okay, and UAs?
I had placed on biweekly ETG testing for having a positive drug test for alcohol May 23rd. So on July 5th, he did submit a diluted drug test, and July 18th, he submitted a negative drug test.
I'm sorry, when was that UA positive for alcohol?
On May 23rd.
I'm looking at the SR dated the 29th of June. I may be reading this wrong, but you said that since he just stated that since he had the ignition interlock, there hasn't been any violations, but it's written here that on the 22nd of December, 2021, submitted an alcohol violation on January 24th, 2022, of 0.042 at 6:29 a.m. He denied consuming alcohol, though.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and he provided a passing of 0.010.
That is correct, 0.010 at 8:37 a.m.
Right, that's considered passing?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what does this TAP recommendations have?
SOP, Supportive Outpatient Treatment Program.
Okay. Okay, and the weeklies that you did, you said you had no violations. One was diluted.
Yes, he had a diluted drug test on July 5th, and the July 18th was negative.
Mhm. Well, what do you think, Mr. Chambers? Should we go ahead and follow those TAP recommendations?
Well, Your Honor, I have no idea, to be honest.
Well, since I consider dilutes to be positives, because you're responsible for whatever goes into your system. And if you're gonna tell me I drink a lot of water, Gatorade and all that, got it. But you're given instructions on how not to cause dilutes. Or maybe I'm guessing, I don't know, maybe Officer Juarez, what instructions did you provide to Mr. Chambers about dilutes?
So when I called him to advise him of the diluted drug test. Let me go back to when I called him.
Well, before that, do you give any instructions concerning UAs having to be able to submit and how to prevent dilutes or anything like that?
No, I usually do not give them that information until they provide a diluted drug test. I just have them drug test and give them the times the lab opens to drug test before 4 o'clock. And this was his first diluted drug test.
Manager Sedovich, during orientation, are folks, probationers given instructions regarding dilutes or anything of that, taking drug tests or anything?
No, Your Honor.
Alrighty, and when are they expected to get that information on how to prevent dilutes?
Well, as in Ms. Suarez's case, when there is a diluted UA, they'll give them the instructions about the consuming water. I'm not sure if at the lab they give them instructions before they submit, but during orientation, they're just given the basic condition that you have to submit to a UA.
Okay. I had a question here regarding confirmation of the positive UA. Was that, since there was a denial, was that confirmed?
No.
Officer Juarez?
No, it was not.
I'm sorry, say again?
No, it was not confirmed.
Alrighty, so that's a lot of back and forth there, Mr. Chambers. Talk to me about the dilute.
Well, I didn't know really much anything about the dilute until my probation officer mentioned it. So I do work outside in construction, so I am consuming a lot of water. But this was the first time that I had a diluted test and I didn't know what it was until she mentioned it. And then after that, it never happened again.
Okay. And so we've had a positive UA for alcohol, and then we had a positive on the admission interlock. And so you're saying you're denying all of those?
Yes.
Why?
I'm sorry?
Why?
On the interlock?
On the interlock and the UN?
I haven't consumed any alcohol. I think on the interlock, I was sick during that time and I had COVID, so I was taking a lot of medicine. So I believe that's what set it off. But as far as that, that's all I really know, Your Honor.
And the positive UA?
I'm sorry, what is a UA again?
Your analysis, that's when you go and submit.
I wasn't told anything until Officer Juarez mentioned it to me. I haven't drank any alcohol. I really don't have an answer for you, Your Honor.
Thanks. Sorry, microphone died. Officer Waters, how often are you conducting UAs now?
Well, his last drug test, like I said, was July 18th, and that was negative.
The frequency is what I'm asking. Is
My
it
sanction was just,
monthly, weekly?
no, my sanction was biweekly ETG testing, which was for July 5th and July 18th.
Okay. And so when is the next UA?
Well,
Is it going to be,
I'm sorry, I just met with him July 21st. I don't meet with him again until August 24th. Like I said, this was my sanction for having that positive UA. I had placed him on biweekly ETG testing.
okay, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and reset this matter for October 2022. And in the meantime, we'll have 12-step once a week documented, or if it's online, it needs to be verifiable. And I think we've accumulated a list of online, like step chat. There was another one recently. I think boozers and bathrobes that you can verify, that are third-party verifiable, independently verifiable. So that needs to be done. And so we'll do the 12-step once a week. And UAs every 2 weeks, random. And both of these requirements will revisit in October. Okay? That's what we'll do.
Okay, so just to confirm, 12-step, once a week and UAs every 2 weeks or random UAs every 2 weeks.
Right. I'm going to hold that SOP right now. I'm going to hold it in abeyance and revisit that in October. Let's see what happens.
Okay,
Okay?
yes.
Mr. Chambers, I need for you to go back to, who's your vendor?
Sorry?
Who's a vendor for the ignition interlock?
It talks a lot.
Okay, and Taxalock has very, very good instructions, and I'm in touch with the their managers and directors, and they're pretty good there. So you need to revisit them for instructions on how to use your ignition interlock so that and what you can or cannot do when you're being monitored, you know, as far as medicines are concerned, so that you'll be prepared with any alternatives if you get sick again, okay? But you're not supposed to use any medicines that contain alcohol. I can cause, but go through the instructions again and make sure that you let your officer know when you have gone through those instructions, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
All righty. Need to see an email sent to her and say, hey, I went to visit and gone through the instructions and in Taxalock by this date, on this date.
Will do, Your Honor.
All righty. Officer Juarez, anything further on this?
No, ma'am, everything's good.
Okay. And Officer Manager Sedovich, any instructions, please?
Mr. Chambers, just keep an eye out for your email. I'll be sending you amended conditions to include the 12-step once a week, verifiable UA AA meetings, the UAs random every 2 weeks, and SOP held in abeyance.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks. Officer Juarez, do you have something else this afternoon?
Yes, ma'am, I have 2 more compliance hearings.
Okay. Is Mr. Nicholas Rodriguez one of them?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's get on record on cause number 672-900, State of Texas versus Nicholas Ryan Rodriguez. Parties, please approach and identify who's before the court, starting with the CLO.
Marisa Sedovich, Court Liaison Officer for County Court at Law number 2.
CSO.
Probation Officer Alan Juarez.
Hey, Mr. Rodriguez, how you doing there?
I can't complain. All is well. How about yourself, Your Honor?
Good, good, good. Thanks for asking. I'm doing well. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
Manager Sedovich, when was the last court visit with Mr. Rodriguez?
The last court appearance was when the probationer was granted deferred adjudication on May 20th, 2022 for 12 months for obstruction of highway. An SR was returned on July 21st, 2022, requesting to set for performance review hearing to address the high BRACs. This case is set to expire May 19th, 2023.
So how has Mr. Rodriguez been doing?
Mr. Rodriguez has completed to his classes, a victim impact panel, the DWI. He has yet to complete his 48 community service hours. He did complete an alcohol and drug evaluation July 26th, which recommended supportive outpatient treatment program. And he's still on the ignition interlock and is due for removal until December 21st of this year.
I'm sorry, what is due under December 21st?
His ignition, he's due for removal on the ignition interlock on December the 21st of this year.
Okay.
And on his most recent report on the ignition interlock, he did have one warning and one high BRAC.
That's for what period?
For the June 22nd to July 16th.
Who's the vendor?
Smart Start. And he did admit to having one drink on July the 3rd.
Is that when it got
Yes, he submitted the BRAC violation on July 3rd. And he had a warning on July 9th. And he admitted to having a drink on July 3rd.
So what was the BRAC?
The BRAC was 0.038 with no passing test.
Do you know whether Mr. Rodriguez has a copy of his conditions?
Sure. Intake provided him one, and I usually provide a copy of the conditions on the initial office visit as well.
So you provided him a copy of the conditions during an office visit? Which one? The first one?
His initial visit.
Okay, did you go over the conditions?
Yes, ma'am. I always go over it and always provide a copy of the conditions.
Okay. So, Mr. Rodriguez, do you have and you say what happened with his fees? How's he doing with his fees?
On his fees, he, one second, he has a balance of $975 and is delinquent $118.
Delinquent $18?
118.
What was the total fees assessed?
1,229.
And he's paid how much?
254.
And he got 40 hours of community service restitution. How many has he completed? How many hours?
He was ordered 48. To date, he has not worked any hours. His plan was to make a donate his hours.
Mr. Rodriguez, do you know what you have a copy of your conditions of probation?
Yes, Your Honor.
So do you have a copy of them right there with you?
Not in front of me, but I do have them in my file organizer.
Okay. You went over them during orientation and then your probation officer went over them. Was there any exceptions for the 3rd of July? What was special on the 3rd of July?
Definitely no exceptions whatsoever. I'm here to address these violations accordingly and do what is needed to, I guess, rectify in some respects in regards to these violations. But ultimately, nothing special. Was evening with some friends watching a fight at one of their houses, and I was planning on staying there. Wasn't able to do that in the end, and thought I would be able to pass the interlock, but I didn't. Plain and simple. And since then, no consumption of alcohol has been in my system.
Okay, so you said there's no exception that says, oh, I can drink as long as I can go ahead and pass the interlock?
Oh, definitely not. No, I'm not saying that whatsoever. No, there is no exception at all. But at least in my mind at the time, I thought, well, if I could pass it, then I would be okay. But regardless of that, my actions have shown otherwise, that I shouldn't be under any consumption of whether it be drugs or alcohol whatsoever during my probation or thereon after.
Is that because you looked at your conditions and you saw that condition number 2 says no consumption of alcohol? You'll be able to review that again?
I can definitely go over my terms without a doubt. But considering just my thought process at the time, that's what I was thinking, although it may not be right, but that's what I was thinking at the current time. Just full transparency there.
Okay. So I'm not going to belabor the point because it seems that you understand this, but the thing about it is I'm not really too sure where you would have thought, okay, I could go ahead and get away. I would be okay as long as I can get past the ignition interlock when your condition says no consumption.
Exactly.
So there's no exception that says, hey, if I can get by the interlock, I'm okay. Then I don't have to follow these conditions. Is there?
No, there is not, Your Honor.
All right. Officer Juarez, what are you thinking in this case as far as recommendations?
I was going with the recommendation of TAP, the Supportive Outpatient Treatment Program. I believe there was monthly UAs and sober support meetings.
Oh, to kind of go along with the TAP, is that what you're
Yes.
saying?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What do you think about that, Mr. Rodriguez?
If it's in the best interest of the court and myself, I'll do whatever is necessary to put my best foot forward from here on out throughout the term of my probation. So if that's what's needed, then I'll do whatever is required of me.
That's an interesting way of putting that, if it's in the best interest of the court.
Well, I said myself and the court, Your Honor.
Oh. Okay, so you want me to go ahead and order the TAP?
Yes. I'm sorry. Are you asking him or? are
No,
you
Mr. Rodriguez.
Yes, Your Honor. If you ask me personally, I don't think it's needed, but because I really am not really a drinker at my first instance, if you will, but But like I mentioned, if it's in my best interest, if the court thinks it is in my best interest and it's what will help me go through this process and follow the terms accordingly, then I will do so.
Okay. All right, sir, I'm going to go ahead and extend you on the ignition interlock for 1 month. I would like for you to go ahead and do that 12th step once a week. And we're going to do the UAs. Every 2 weeks. And we'll do that random. And we'll revisit this in October, okay?
Sounds good.
We'll see you in October.
Sounds good. Is there anything else that needs to be gone over at this time, Your Honor?
Well, I'm going to, as far as the SOP, I'm going to kind of hold that in abeyance and see how, and we'll revisit that all in October. So UAs every 2 weeks, random. I have the CSO monitor that or set those. Extend you on probation and send your ignition interlock for 1 month, 12 step, once a week. If you go in person, your probation officer should provide you a form. If you do it online, it needs to be verifiable, independently verifiable. And you need to make sure that your probation officer is notified. And you keep a log of it too.
Most
Hold
definitely.
that SOP in abeyance, and we'll see you in October.
Alrighty. And just last thing for me, Your Honor, I do have another drug test scheduled for this coming Monday. So will the bi-weekly start then, or will it be starting this date?
Oh, your officer will go over everything with you, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
Alrighty. Officer Juarez, anything else?
Nothing else, ma'am.
Okay. Officer, Manager Sedovich, instructions, please.
Mr. Rodriguez, keep an eye out for your email. We'll be emailing you your amended conditions.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Okay, and
Yeah, I'd be dismissed.
yes, sir. Thank you much.
Thank you for your time. You all have a good.
Thank you. And then we have Aixa Maria Hermosa.
Yes, ma'am.
Hermoso.
Hermoso.
Hermoso. Okay, thank you. We need that microphone. Yeah, she can sit right there. She's here in person.
Word.
Let's get on record on cause number 666048, State of Texas versus Aixa Maria Hermoso. Parties, please approach and identify who's before the court, starting with the CLO.
Court Liaison Officer Marisa Sedovich for County Court at Law number 2.
CSO,
Probation Officer Alan Juarez.
and is it Iexa?
It's Isa.
Isa,
Yes, ma'am. I know it's kind of a weird name.
it's kind of a cool name,
Thank you.
Isa.
Thank you.
And I'm just killing your last name, right? I don't know.
Hermoso.
Is it Hermoso?
Yes, ma'am. Hermoso.
Alrighty, thank you. All right, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. My back is killing me. How are you?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. How are you doing?
Not too bad. Thank you for asking. Hello, when was the last time that we visited with Ms. Hermoso?
The last court appearance was when the probationer was granted deferred adjudication on April 19th, 2022 for 18 months for obstruction of highway. An SR was returned by the court on July 18th, 2022, requesting to alter and amend for a TAP recommendations. Your Honor requested this hearing and the case is set to expire October 18th, 2023.
Officer Waters, how has Ms. Hermoso been doing?
Yes, ma'am. The only thing Ms. Hermoso has provided so far is the affidavit of non-driving. For her, she's still pending 2 affidavit of non-driving for her 2 roommates. She has provided proof that she started attending the parenting classes on July 13th. She reported attending or not attending, but doing a mental health evaluation via phone at Tropical Behavior Health in Edinburgh, Texas on July 19th, but she never provided proof of the mental health evaluation. She has completed her 48 community service hours at Bear Gives Back. She is on the PAM device. There was some issues on the PAM device with the missed samples. And she has yet to complete the U impact, the DWI education, and the victim impact panel class. She has not been compliant with the directives. She's had 3 failed to submit, 1 positive for marijuana, or 2 positive for marijuana and a diluted drug test.
Okay. Ms. Hermoso,
Yes, ma'am.
would you like for me to, have we referred you to the mental health court?
No, I just, you referred me to go to the Behavioral Health Center here, here downtown. I've gone a few times, and they've told me that since I don't have insurance, they cannot actually provide me with an appointment until they tell me I basically have to go back every day. And until somebody calls out of an appointment and I happen to be next in line for that appointment, then I would receive the mental health evaluation. They've told me this about 3 times. They told me it's, even last time I got there, and I got there pretty early, so I didn't have to wait too long, thank God. But as soon as I got there, she told me there's no openings. I'm like, okay, but can I have a paper, to give them, show them that I'm like coming? She's like, well, you're gonna have to wait here till we take you to the back, process you, and they're just basically gonna tell you the same thing, that we don't have appointments. They update your account and then they just give you the paper and they send you on your way. And that is why I made myself an appointment at Tropical, which is where I received my mental health services before. And they gave me the 3-hour evaluation, and I'm just waiting for the paperwork to come via mail. Informing me of my appointment to speak with the psychologist. And they actually just called me, I believe on Thursday or Friday of this past week. They put my case onto somebody that is actually supposed to be leaving Tropical soon. So they told me that they would give me another call and inform me and let me know who my new caseworker will be. That way I can get the appointment rescheduled to whatever date that is. I mean, I've been trying on that one, and like I said, I've gone a few times to here, and they're just sending me away. And Tropical took me, and I was hoping to go to the appointment whenever they officially set it up. But like I said, everything's via mail. I don't know why they're being weird about sending it through email, because I've asked for it to be sent through email so I can just send it to you instead of having to wait, because I don't know when it'll be coming in. But yeah, I'm just waiting to hear back from them. I mean, I'll probably call them later on today to see what exactly is going on. I don't know how long it'll take before I get a caseworker. You know, and sometimes I work a lot. Sometimes it's really hard for me to be going and taking the bus every day downtown. And then I don't know how many hours they're gonna have me waiting there. Like you know, the first time I was there for about 4 or 5 hours. And then if I have to, you know, wait all those hours, and then it's time for work, and then I have to leave without even getting the paperwork, and it's, you know, start the process again. You know, I mean, right now my mother's trying to help me with insurance so that maybe that'll, you know, move it along a little bit faster. But really, like, I just feel like my hands are tied, and, you know, like, it's not exactly the fun for me going in there and then them turning me away, knowing that I haven't been on my medication in a while. And I feel that I need it, especially, you know,
Well,
as she stated earlier, you know, and I let you know the first court that I would smoke marijuana. It's, you know, I've gone through so much medication that would just make me feel worse. And I started, you know, I know it's not the best route. I started smoking. And so far that was the thing that had helped me. And then just to like stop cold turkey, like, it's been really hard, like a little harder than I thought. I've been starting to get anxiety attacks and stuff again. I had to call out of work last week because of it. You know, I am trying on that one, especially because I myself don't like feeling this way. It's not fun for me. Well, really, there's like I don't know what else to do when it comes to like the mental health.
well, I have an idea, okay? Why don't I go ahead and refer you to the mental health court? They have a lot of resources, okay? And they have a whole team and a case manager that would be able to go ahead and work with you on all that, and probably help you to get into services a lot quicker. How does that sound? That would be good? Okay.
I left that place crying before because, you know, like, they just really don't know.
Understand. I think that once you get a case manager, somebody's rooting on your side, that we'll be able to go ahead and get you services, okay?
Thank
A little
you.
bit quicker. So why don't I go ahead and do that? We'll refer you there to mental health court. Soon they'll contact you and give you an interview and talk with you, and then go through and process, okay?
Yeah, because I won't lie, there's days where it's very hard. And, you know, last week after the drug test, I had to call out of work. Like, I had a really bad anxiety attack, and I hadn't had an episode in a while. But, you know, like, sometimes I just feel like I just want to die. And, you know, and the fact that I can't even like the one outlet, you know, I know it's illegal. I know it's not the best outlet, but, you know, like, that's taken away from me. And then it's just like, you know, one day to the next is not exactly as easy as it sounds, you
Sure.
know.
Well, I think, probably that may be the best outcome, but
Yeah.
that will be able to go ahead and help you quite a bit,
Yeah.
okay? So let's go and do that, but I'll be following up with you monthly until you may get into that particular court. How about that, okay?
Yeah.
So why don't we do that? We'll go ahead and get you reset for a month, and I'll get you a referral. Now, I'm gonna need all your information, and then we'll go ahead and get you going on that process, okay?
All right, thank you.
Alrighty, good, good. I'm glad that you're actively seeking help,
You
okay?
know, and I mean,
We'll
I've
be-
been wanting to see my children, and I mean, this is honestly not just, it benefits me a lot. I'm not against, going at all or doing that or being put on medication again, I mean, I haven't felt normal in a really long time, and it sucks that I have to come here for this, and I look horrible that I came out dirty, and I'm trying.
Okay. Alrighty, that's what we'll go ahead and do. We'll do a mental health court referral on this, okay?
Alrighty, thank you.
Alrighty. Okay, Officer Juarez, we'll go ahead and initiate that here. And we'll just reset this for the next month to go ahead and follow up and make sure that she's looked after, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Alrighty. Do we have anyone else?
No, ma'am, that's it. She was my last one.
Okay, you just stick around for a couple minutes here, okay? And I'll get your information and we'll get you squared away, okay?
Alrighty, thank you.
I just want to go ahead and make sure we set out the referral and then we'll get you going,
Alrighty, thank
okay?
you so much.
No problem. Alrighty, thank you all very much. You all have a great evening.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you and likewise.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, it should just come up, if, please,
Where do I go?
just come up here a minute. Right, I'm just going to go ahead and let me, we can go ahead and, Esther, can you stop the recordings? What does that mean?
Yes, Judge, I'll go up there and stop them. It's on my other one.
Okay,